One of 5 ranked matchups on this massive day of college basketball, and 2 of the top 4 teams in the Big 12 going toe-to-toe in Houston. It's the number 6 Cougars, who've won 13 straight, and the number 22 Texas Tech Red Raiders with a 5-game win streak of their own. Don't adjust your TV sets. It is not red today in Houston. It is a blue out inside a sold out for Fertitta Center. Alongside King McClure, I'm Rich Hollenberg. So many juicy storylines and so many similarities between these 2 top 25 teams. We'll get to all of them coming up, but the first one is, it's a battle of 2 very talented big men.
The battle of the lefties, like I like to call it. This is a high-level matchup. We're going to start with Jawad Roberts. 2 guys who are extremely similar, but they do it a little different. Jawad Roberts, monster in that mid-post, had a monster game against Kansas, really got the best of Hunter Dickinson, but he's going to be going up against a guy who is, once again, extremely similar in JT Toppin. Goes to the right shoulder, high-level athlete, double-double machine. Grant McCastin loves this young man, and he has to have a big night if they want to pull off this road win.
So there's JT Toppin in the Road Reds. He, as you said, is like a walking double-double. These 2 teams play very similar. It's the toughest team wins, and both of these teams are on winning streaks. Houston, the only undefeated team in Big 12 play, they're 9-0, and 18 straight Big 12 regular season wins. That's the longest win streak in conference play in 22 years. They also, King, have a 33-game home winning streak. That's the longest active in the nation. Texas Tech, undefeated on the road this year. They're 4-0, looking for their first ranked win this year. And in their Houston Blues, the Cougs own the opening tip. Here's JoJo Tugler, the handoff to the Oklahoma transfer point guard Milos Uzan, who has been sensational lately. They always look to get Jawad Roberts involved early. His first shot off the mark, and it'll be Red Raiders basketball. Good news for the Red Raiders. Darian Williams, their Swiss Army knife, number 5 in red, missed their last game. It was a win against TCU, but he's back in this game. He's got the ball, nursing a high ankle sprain.
Yeah, before the injury, only 6 points per game. He has to be better than that tonight if they want to win.
Here's Toppin, guarded by Tugler. Elijah Hawkins, 3 in red. And here's Chance McMillan, one of the best 3-point shooters in the country. Williams' first shot off the mark, the rebound to Tugler.
Well, that was a good offensive possession right there by McMillan. Get to the paint, they double down, kick out for a 3. You just got to knock it down.
Uzan. And similar good news for Kelvin Sampson, 21 in blue with the ball. Emmanuel Sharp has been suffering with a right foot injury most of the season. He's toughing it out. He's in the starting lineup again.
Well, he looked good in shoot-around, looked good in warm-ups. Was able to knock it down. You talk about knocking it down. L.J. Cryer, who's been up and down in the last 5 games, only shooting about 34 from 3 in the last 3. But that's a good sign right there.
Both of these teams shoot the 3-point shot at a very high clip. Elijah Hawkins, a pass-first point guard. McMillan had it stripped. And Uzan lost the handle. That's 1 turnover for each team, and Houston is one of the best in the country at limiting turnovers.
Yeah, but when you talk about causing turnovers, if you're a guard on Texas Tech, you have to know off of every ball screen, JoJo Tugler, that long wingspan, he's extra aggressive. He is always trying to reach and cause steals, just like you saw right there.
Here's Emmanuel Sharp in the open floor, and he has 2.
You might have to get a timeout early if you're Coach Mack.
Here's McMillan. His first shot is true.
That's great ball movement. Elijah Hawkins did a really good job off of the ball screen, locating Darian Williams. Darian Williams hit the 1 more. Good shot by Chance McMillan.
Number 6 in the country in 3-point percentage. Chance McMillan has 3 threes in each of his last 3 games. Here's Roberts. Back out to Cryer.
Might have got away with the travel right there.
Now the lefty goes left.
that's where they are so good on the short roll, being able to attack the rim, him and Tugler.
What a career it's been for number 13 in blue. J'Wan Roberts approaching 1,000 points and 1,000 career rebounds. Toppin had it met at the rim by Tugler. And Williams, Johnny, on the spot for the putback. Tugler
showing us why he has a chance to be special. His rim protection is some of the best in the Big 12.
14th straight for JoJo Tugler with at least one block. He has 2 or more blocks in 11 of his last 13 games.
Let's take a look at this steal off the pick and roll. If you are not careful, Houston is going to be aggressive. They're going to get in the passing lanes. Good defense leads to easy offense. But when you take care of the basketball and make decisions like this, this is the result. You have to value the possession when you're playing against Houston.
And another foul on the floor. This one's going to go on number 5, Darian Williams. Your officials tonight, Brett Smith, Tyler Kump, and Justin Shamian. Here's Sharp with the ball. Just 7 for 23 from 3 in his last 3 games, but he's 13th in the nation in three-point percentage. Roberts, no.
They're letting Roberts play one-on-one down low. There's too many shooters on the floor for Houston. Texas Tech not sending the double.
Good ball movement. Hawkins for 3. And JoJo Tugler is down. And it looks like he might have taken a shot to the nether regions, King. Not fun for anybody.
Definitely not fun.
So a hot shooting start from 2 hot shooting teams.
Let's take a look at this right here. This is where it's what you have to do. When Houston doubles, you have to be able to kick opposite. They specifically worked on that in shoot around. JT Toppin, only 6 assists in the last 8 games. Doesn't really share the ball well, but right there, he has to be able to do that in order to get a win.
2 ranked teams in the Big 12 going toe-to-toe. It's a 1-point game, 16-10 to go. Number 22, Texas Tech with an 8-7 early lead over number 6, Houston in Houston in this Big 12 matchup. Kelvin Sampson, 69 years young, still has that fire in his belly, King. 11th year in H-Town, 36th overall as a head coach. He's 4th among all active head coaches in wins and the defending Big 12 Coach of the Year. And you talk about fire in the belly, you could see it in that huddle. On the other side, Grant McCasland in his 2nd season on the South Plains, 48 years old, with deep West Texas ties. 2nd year in Lubbock. They've won 7 of their last 8, and all 4 of their losses have come by a grand total of 11 points. They could really shoot the 3, and they could defend it too. This is a dangerous team in the Big 12.
They just have to get healthy and stay healthy. That's the biggest thing. I mean, when they have their full roster, Grant McCasland will put his team against anybody, and they're that good. The metrics love them because, like you said, they shoot it, they defend the 3, they share the basketball, and they have a lot of options in your guard spot.
Speaking of metrics, Ken Pom, which measures efficiency, has Houston as the number 1 team in the country overall, number 1 in offense, number 1 in defense, and they're one of only 2 teams in the top 10 in either of those categories.
Red 15 being assessed for flagrant 2, personal foul, and ejected.
Now that is some breaking news. JT Toppin has been ejected from the basketball game. A flagrant 2 foul on the leading scorer and rebounder for the Red Raiders, and JT Toppin gets the gate just 4 minutes into this game.
We have to take another look at this one. I don't think JT Toppin knows. I disagree with that, Rich.
And JT Toppin doesn't even realize it. it's going to be 2 shots on the ball for Houston, and JT Toppin is in disbelief.
Rich, I think that's a horrible call. I think that's absolutely horrible. I think that's a horrible call. I do not think he intentionally stuck his leg out. I think that is a horrible call, Rich.
And Grant McCaslin is livid, and understandably so. He's actually looking at an iPad to see a replay of the play that got JT Toppin kicked out of this game.
No, that is not a flagrant 2 worthy. I think that is absolutely horrible, Rich. I strongly disagree with that. His momentum was taking him backwards. He lifted his leg up, not intentionally to try to kick him in a certain spot.
And now Grant McCaslin just got teed up. I think what he was arguing is if JoJo Tugler got injured and had to go to the sidelines, he shouldn't be allowed to shoot the free throws.
I think he's upset at this play. This is not a flagrant 2 worthy. And I understand his frustration. He said he's passing the ball. I understand his frustration right there.
Yeah, he's saying it. He's passing the ball. And Grant McCaslin is on the court. And now he's back in his huddle. He's got, what, 35 more minutes of coaching. But Grant McCaslin is now looking to join JT Toppin in the visitors' locker room. The Red Raiders, in the span of 3 minutes and 50 seconds of game time, have lost their head coach and their best player.
I 110% disagree with what the referee just called right there.
This is absolutely shocking in Houston. Tugler misses the first.
Rich, I'll reiterate, that's horrible. That is a horrible call right there. An absolutely terrible call.
Now LJ Cryer shooting the additional technical free throws. As if you need more of a challenge to take down this Houston team who's won 33 straight at home, Texas Tech's gonna have to do it without their head coach and without their leading scorer and rebounder in JT Toppin.
Next man up mentality, Rich. I mean, you saw Chance McMillan right there trying to bring the team together, saying, hey, our coach is gone, our best player is gone, we have to do this, who is on the floor.
So the free throws hit by LJ Cryer. And now it's an 11-8 Houston lead. And now it's Houston's ball with that 11-8 lead. Let's see if the Red Raiders can regroup and maybe be galvanized by the latest turn of events. We welcome you into Houston, Texas. Juwan Roberts and the Cougs have the lead, number 6 in the country on number 22, Texas Tech. And there's a timeout on the floor. Oh no, a technical foul called now. And speaking of technical fouls, Rich Hollenberg, King McClure, there has been a major turn of events in the first 5 minutes of this game. We'll tell you more about it when we come back. But Grant McCaslin and JT Toppin have been given the boot from this game.
Yeah, so Roberts got the tech for taunting the bench after the bucket.
So for those of you who missed it, JT Toppin was assisted a flagrant 2 technical foul and ejected. After head coach Grant McCaslin saw the replay, he was absolutely livid. He got 2 technicals and got kicked out of the game as well. Here's what caused it.
This is horrible. This is not a flagrant 2 worthy. He is trying to pass the basketball, and that's what Grant McCaslin is saying. He's passing the ball. He did not lift his leg intentionally to try to hit anybody. So that's an absolutely horrible ejection. I completely disagree with that. Nonetheless, the next man up, Curran Walton, just hit that 3. He has to be able to step up, and Texas Tech wants to get this upset.
And we are tied at 13. An absolutely shocking turn of events. Milos Uzan with his first 2.
Uzan is so skilled. Right there, the up and under to be able to get to your left hand, high-level finisher.
More similarities than differences between these 2 Big 12 powerhouses. They're in the top 4 in the league. Houston, the only undefeated team in the league, coming in at 9-0. They have a 13-game winning streak overall, which is second in the nation. They have a 33-game home win streak, which is the longest active in the nation. But Texas Tech has a win streak of their own. They've won 5 straight, and they're undefeated on the road this year at 4-0.
Right now with no Toppin, you're not going to be able to have anybody to throw it to in the mid-post. Darion Williams will be your one answer, but Toppin was so good. He was a force. If your guards are not getting it going, he was your bailout option.
Williams tried to force it inside to Federico and turned it over. Uzan and Hawkins, another similarity. 2 pass-first point guards who are elite in terms of assist to turnover. Roberts lost it, 10 on the clock. Cryer trying to bail him out with the 3-ball.
LJ Cryer, his ability to be able to stop on a dime, rise up over the top of the defender. So good, so elite.
And an answer from one of the best 3-point shooters in the country, Chance McMillan, has his second 3.
You want to talk about so good and so elite, Rich. Chance McMillan has been playing at such a high level. Catch and shoot. He is one of the best in the Big 12.
Here's Cryer already with 2 threes in the game. Terrence Arsenault from the wing. Off the mark, the rebound to McMillan.
And one thing that Texas Tech is going to have to do with no JT Toppin, they're going to have to gang rebound. They cannot rely on a jumping contest. You have to block out, hit the runners, and be able to secure the rebound. But let's take a look back at these 3s, because this is a high-level contest. LJ Cryer stopping on the dime. Welcome to the Big 12, freshman. And on the other side, Chance McMillan. You have to be able to stay attached on the pin down, because if you give him any bit of space, he will knock it down.
Now Milos Uzan goes to the bench, and a former Red Raider, Malik Wilson, number 8 in blue, checks in for Kelvin Sampson. Wilson coming up so huge in last week's win in Lawrence against the Kansas Jayhawks in double overtime. Freshman Christian Anderson off the mark on the 3. Loose ball will stay Texas Tech basketball. And now former Wyoming head coach Jeff Linder takes over head coaching duties in Grant McCaslin's absence. And that's why most head coaches like to have former head coaches on their bench.
That's exactly what I was about to say. Coach Linder has been here plenty of times. So you're still in good hands if you're Texas Tech.
McMillan with 8 already. And now give him 10 and a chance for 11.
Rich, I think that is where Chance McMillan has improved the most. He has always been an elite level shooter, but getting to the rim, the diversification of his game right here, being able to put his head down, create buckets off of the dribble when he gets to the rim, that's where he's gotten the most, that's where he's gotten better.
Chance McMillan in his 2-year career at Texas Tech is putting up Steph Curry-like percentages, 50, 40, 90.
He's extremely efficient, and that's what you want from one of your best shooters and your best scorers. But the way he's able to get to the rim, last year he got to the rim 23% of the time. This year he's getting to the rim at 31%. That improvement right there, that small percentage change, I think has changed his game drastically.
Now the Grand Canyon transfer has been in double digits in 13 of his last 14 games. And with JT Toppin in the locker room with that flagrant 2 technical foul that kicked him out of the game, Emily Alaho is forced into action. McMillan completes the 3-point play. He has 11 to lead all scorers, and it's a 1-point Texas Tech lead. Here's Roberts working on Yalaho. The offense runs through Juwan Roberts many times for Kelvin Sampson. He spins. Off the window, no.
That's a great one-on-one defense. That's a great one-on-one defense right there. Yalaho coming into the game, understanding the scouting report, walling up, not biting on any shot fakes. Good defense right there by Texas Tech.
Here's Walton. Lines up a 3 way off the mark. It goes out of bounds. It'll stay Red Raiders basketball. You could expect Frederico to get much more time due to JT Toppin being out, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. Coach McCaslin said he's an elite offensive rebounder.
And a great rim protector. His rim protection changes the defense for Texas Tech, something that they don't have when he goes out of the game.
Here's Sharp back in the game. 4 starters. And Malik Wilson's off the mark. The offensive rebound, tapped out of bounds, off Roberts, and it'll be Texas Tech basketball. Timeout on the floor. Fireworks inside Fertitta in the first half. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Phillips 66, proud sponsor of Big 12 basketball. And yes, you shouldn't adjust your TV sets. The blue is Houston blue, and it's a throwback color that every sporting team at University of Houston is awarded. The football team wore it, the volleyball team wore it, Williams Golf wore it, and for the first time ever tonight, the Houston Cougars men's basketball team is wearing Houston blue. It started in the early 20s. Street markers were installed with light blue. The Houston Police Department cars had blue in them. And now the Cougs, the number 6 team in the nation, for the first time, is wearing that Houston blue. I'm an old guy, King. I see Houston blue. I think the Houston Oilers. And Earl Campbell.
I'm not that old, but I like the blue. I mean, it's my favorite shade of blue, the baby blue.
Out of the timeout. Walton off the mark, but he's fouled on the 3-ball attempt. And Kerwin Walton will go to the line and shoot 3. That's going to go on Emmanuel Sharp, his first.
And that's the second time today we've seen, Rich, off of pin downs. Texas Tech loves to run their shooters off of baseline screens. If you give them any bit of space, they will knock it down. And that time, Sharp closing out a little too aggressively.
Kerwin Walton at the line, an 86 free throw shooter. Coming up at 9 Eastern, 8 Central on ESPN, another Sonic blockbuster. John Calipari returns to Rupp Arena, leading Arkansas against number 12 Kentucky. Then one of college hoops' most spirited rivalries out west, Gonzaga squares off against St. Mary's in the West Coast Conference.
That'll be a good one. That'll be a good one. What do you think his return would be like?
You know,
is it an ovation? Is it booze?
Regardless of what Rick Pitino put out there on social media, urging Big Blue Nation to give him a standing up, I think it's going to be a mix.
Yeah.
And then depending on how the game goes, it could go either way.
Yeah, I think it definitely will be a mix. Probably more booze than you probably would expect.
Texas Tech in the midst of an 8-0 run after 2 of the 3 made free throws by Kerwin Walton.
So far, we see Houston guards coming off the pick and roll, looking to be able to dump it down to their bigs in the pocket pass. We saw it early with Juwan Roberts when he got an easy layup, and right there, JoJo Tugler been able to attack the rim off the pocket pass. Good job by the Houston guards finding their bigs on the roll.
And Tugler misses the first. Well, Texas Tech right now, I know it's only 11:35 to go in the first half, trying to do what no team since the Temple Owls accomplished all the way back on January 22nd, 2023, over 2 years ago. And that is beat Houston in the Fertitta Center on their home floor.
Well, Rich, right now, when you look at the offensive rebounding battle, it is 5-1. Houston known as being one of the best offensive rebounding teams in the country, but Texas Tech is beating them in their own game.
There's the double team that you always see from the Houston D. Hawkins tried for the lob. Federico goes down. Tugler goes down. Houston comes away with it. Now Sharp trying to take advantage of the mismatch. He's met at the rim by Federico, and he's got his second foul.
And that's where, without JT Toppin, the front court of Texas Tech has to be careful because you have to value your fouls because the front court is extremely thin right now. No Toppin, you really only have Yalaho, Federico, and then Darion Williams. So now, no Federico, that means Yalaho has to go to the 5, Darion Williams has to go to the 4, and they're kind of sort of undersized.
We talked about how elite Emmanuel Sharp is beyond the three-point line. He is just as much, if not more so, elite at the free throw line. 7th in the nation at 93% from the free throw stripe. He hits his first.
Well, I think that's a good sign for him getting to the free throw line because he's only averaging 6 points in the last 3 games. He is not shooting it great, shooting 24 from 3 in the last 3 when he got off to a really hot start from deep. So how do you get yourself back going, Rich? Driving to the rim, getting to the free throw line.
Tech's lead is 1 with the ball. And that is exactly what the Houston defense forces you to do. Throw it to the man farthest away from you. They almost turned it over. With 6 on the shot clock. Tough 2. Off the mark. Ball goes out of bounds. And it's going to be Houston basketball, a chance to take the lead with a bucket for the Cougs.
Let's take a look right here. Darion Williams. Houston is going to send a double. They call it their monster. You have to be able to deliver that pass to Christian Anderson if you want to be able to expose the backside rotations of Houston's double. If you can't deliver it clean, you get nothing out of it, and that's what we saw in that last possession. They weren't able to get anything out of it on that possession because they didn't deliver that pass clean.
Excellent instruction, Professor McClure. Tugler with the follow, and Houston's on top. Stolen away by Uzan. And a scramble for the loose ball, and they're going to call a jump ball, and it'll be possession arrow to the Red Raiders.
Rich, that's where I've been so impressed with Uzan. Uzan's ability to be able to learn how to fit into the Houston culture. When he was at Oklahoma, he wasn't challenged to guard the way that he is guarding right now. Take a look at this. On ball, being able to get steals, reach for the basketball, be aggressive one-on-one defensively. That is where Uzan has grown the most, learning how to compete for Kelvin Sampson.
And he is the one transfer Kelvin Sampson targeted and brought in this past season. And he is delivering.
It was definitely a learning curve because it's 2 different systems. Going from Oklahoma to Houston, you were asked to do 2 completely different things.
Another near turnover. And this time a foul called on Emmanuel Sharp. It'll be his second. And now Texas Tech in the bonus.
So here's what's interesting, Rich. You know how aggressive Houston likes to be on the defensive side. Every single time they get overly aggressive and foul, they are putting Texas Tech on the free throw line. Will they change? Will they be able to adjust their defensive schemes due to that?
Freshman Christian Anderson on the line. And he misses the front end of the 1-and-1. Tapped out of bounds. It'll stay Texas Tech basketball. So far, the Red Raiders 4 from 9 for 3. Houston 2 for 3 from beyond the arc. Here's Hawkins. And Uzan went down, and Hawkins takes advantage.
And that's a great sign because he's only shooting 13% from 3 in the last 4 games. I think a lot of times he settles for threes because he struggles getting to the rim at his size. But if he's able to knock it down, that provides a huge boost for the Texas Tech offense.
There's the tap and the track down, and that is exactly what Houston tracks in their practices. Terrence Arsenault for 3. Back-to-back triples. He has 9 and Tech's up 2.
Picking up where he left off, Rich. 13 points, 5 assists last game. Elijah Hawkins, you love the confidence that he displays every single time he's on the floor.
The pull-up by Cryer. And L.J. Cryer has 11 to lead the Cougs. Not
typically a shot we see from L.J. Cryer. It's typically threes or his floater. His middle game sometimes is here nor there, but we don't see that often.
Both teams pride themselves on defense, but offense has been the story so far. Both teams shooting well over 50%. Here's Yalaho. Stumbled. They want to travel, and they get them.
Chris Hawkins. The way that he's able to score the basketball. They need this from him because if he's doing this consistently, oh, he gives you a big boost.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Goldfish. Go for the handful. Today, a very special day inside the Fertitta Center, retiring the number 24 of Don Chaney, one of the all-time greats. And Kelvin Sampson makes a point of making sure every one of his players pays their respects to the all-time Houston legends. That's Don Chaney with the sweet leather jacket on the left. And next to him, his former teammate, one of the greatest players of all time, Elvin Hayes, who's a radio broadcaster for the Houston Cougars. But Don Chaney played with the Cougs from 65 to 68. He was the number 12 pick by the Boston Celtics in the NBA draft, a 2-time NBA champion with Boston, the 1991 NBA Coach of the Year with the Houston Rockets. From Baton Rouge to the Bayou City, Don Chaney getting his flowers at halftime today. No one's going to wear the number 24 again in Houston program history.
Much deserving. He's definitely a legend, but I can't get over the leather jacket. The brown is beautiful.
Man, I always think King McClure's the best dressed person in the gym. Right now, we're knotted up at 27. Arsenault rises up, can't knock it down. Loose ball. Hawkins has it for the Red Raiders. Here's Williams. Bad right ankle and all. Darian Williams, a beast.
Well, that's how you have to play against this Houston defense. You have to straight line drive. Do not play with the basketball left and right because they are so good at staying in front. If you drive closeouts, you can get what you want.
That's already the 8th lead change of this game. One of 5 top 25 matchups on a loaded Saturday slate of college basketball. Uzan, patience, doesn't pay off. Roberts, surrounded by red jerseys, somehow gets the offensive rebound. It's a jump ball, possession arrow to the Cougs.
That's one thing we haven't seen a lot of tonight, Rich. We have not seen Houston be able to make their impact on the offensive glass like they typically do. Texas Tech has done a good job blocking out, limiting Houston to one shot.
Uzan triggers the inbounds. 10 on the timer. Here's Tugler working on Federico, throws it up, can't get it, and Williams snares it for Texas Tech.
It's not an area where Kelvin Sampson wants the basketball. JoJo Tugler is not a scorer, though, down there. He's more of a roller, a lob threat, not a one-on-one post scorer.
Now McMillan going one-on-one, passes it up to the freshman Anderson. Seven on the timer. Hawkins got bailed out on the Uzan foul.
Rich, when you're playing a defense like Houston, this is a game in which your guards just have to make plays. Play calling is going to be very limited. Your guards have to be able to do a good job of being tough, being strong with the basketball, and just going out there, putting their head down, getting to the rim, creating offense for others without a play being called.
So now Elijah Hawkins steps to the line for the first time today, an 89% free throw shooter. He has 9 already, courtesy of 3 triples tonight. And now given 10 points. Tomorrow afternoon, this should be a really good ACC women's basketball matchup on ESPN2. Hannah Hidalgo and number 3 Notre Dame are in Louisville to take on the 14-6 Cardinals, who are 7-2 in conference. The Irish are undefeated at 8-0. Coverage begins at noon Eastern.
Hannah Hidalgo and Olivia Miles might be one of the most entertaining backcourts, not just in the women's game, but in the men's game as well. Those two women can play.
And now it looks like they caught Jawan Roberts for being in the lane too early. No, maybe it was a Red Raider who was in the lane too early. It'll be Houston basketball. So Hawkins goes 1 for 2 from the stripe. Texas Tech has led most of this first half, despite losing their best player, JT Toppin, and their head coach, Grant McCaslin, with about 3 minutes and 50 seconds gone by in the first half. Scramble for the loose ball. Smallest player on the floor comes away with it. Williams stuck in the paint. Now gets it outside the paint. Working on Javier Francis. It's a 5-on-5 matchup, and it's a 5-on-5 prime. D5 gives Texas Tech their largest lead of the game.
Like I said, Rich, guards just have to make plays. Good one-on-one defense right there by Francis. Williams able to bump you off at the last minute. Tough shot.
Roberts. No. And it'll be Texas Tech basketball.
Let's take a look. Darion Williams had a good offensive possession, but the possession before that on the defensive side, this right here is amazing. They know that Jawan Roberts wants to get to his right shoulder. That's his bread and butter. He doesn't allow any angles, which allows him to not be able to score the ball, and you get a mid-range jumper, you secure the rebound. That is strictly scouting report right there. Scouting report defense, your best player paying attention to what the coach preached.
Houston 0 for their last 5. Conversely, Texas Tech 4 of their last 4 from the field. This simply does not happen to the Cougars inside the Fertitta Center. Yalaho traveled for the second time tonight. That is turnover number 8 for Texas Tech.
And Yalaho doesn't have a lot of experience right now. So in a high-level game like this, when he catches on the short roll, he's not used to seeing how quick they close out, how quick they're able to shift towards the basketball. So the travel, you have to live with some of those mistakes by him because he doesn't have a lot of experience at this level yet.
Here's Wilson. Now Roberts. And the dig by Hawkins forces the turnover. Bounce pass. A 7-0 Texas Tech run, keyed by Elijah Hawkins and the dime. Defense leading to offense.
We talk about scouting report. How you guard Jawan Roberts is so big. You force the turnover because you do not let him get to his right shoulder. Good defense leads to easy offense. And right now, Texas Tech is rolling.
Whoa, can you see the vision? Whoa, this is the beginning. Hey. What's up? Malcolm Josh Dowling coming from halftime. It's been a wild day in the Big 12. We have an amazing comeback from Baylor and one of the biggest upsets of the season in Hilton Coliseum. This is pretty surprising. With Toppin out and Coach out and McCaslin, they're up 7.
Besides that being the top story in this game, it's the way Texas Tech is shooting threes. And with Houston's defense, they're allowing them to shoot those threes, and they're making Texas Tech. That's why they've got this lead.
Yeah, the backcourt of Texas Tech, the shot makers they have. I mean, they're hitting some tough shots, but I expect this Houston defense to continue chipping away at them.
Critical last 4:18. We'll see at halftime. Back to Rich and the best voice in the business, King.
Thank you very much, DC. Well, in case you missed it, with 16:50 to go in the first half, Texas Tech lost their top leading scorer, their top rebounder, and their head coach, all because of this one play.
And I can't reiterate how bad of a call this is. Absolutely. That might be one of the worst flagrant twos I've ever seen in my life.
Grant McCaslin issued 2 technicals. That gave him the gate after JT Toppin got kicked out of the game for a flagrant 2 technical foul. But you know what? Today's a blowout in Houston. There's still a bunch of red shirts in the crowd. The Red Raiders have shown up in Houston, and that's Jeff Linder, the associate head coach, who has taken over in Grant McCaslin's absence. And all he's done is watch the Red Raiders mount a 7-point lead today.
Well, Rich, they look fired up. That's a tough shot right there by Terrence Arsenault. But when you look at Texas Tech, the energy that they are playing with, they look fired up. They look motivated because they're playing for something deeper than just the game. They are playing for their head coach and JT Toppin right now.
And look at 69-year-old Kelvin Sampson exhorting his crowd to try to drown out the Red Raider faithful. One and done for Texas Tech. They were 5 for their last 5 before that miss. Francis, an easy 2. Williams lines up a 3. It's off the mark. The offensive rebound on the weak side. Hawkins deep 3. Can't get it to go. Fight for the loose ball. And Chance McMillan going to be called for the foul. You don't think these coaches care about this game?
Rich, you feel the energy in this building, and you see the coaches. They are fired up. Before Grant McCaslin got teed, he was fired up. And then look at Coach Sampson right here. This is what you want to see. This is the energy in which this game creates. 2 top 25 teams. This is what we live for, Rich.
Earlier today when we were at Houston practice, I heard Kelvin Sampson say to his team, I can't bleeping wait for this game to start.
You know, it's interesting. Every single time I talk to Coach Sampson, I feel like I'm always motivated. I'm either learning or I feel motivated to go out there and go put on a jersey again. Like, all right, Coach.
He is one of the great basketball minds in our game and a future Hall of Famer.
One of the best in the business for sure.
L.J. Cryer, 91% from the stripe. Hits them both. And we've got a 1-point ball game again. Hawkins almost lost it. 7 on the shot clock. Texans scramble mode now. Oh, what a tough 2 by the freshman Christian Anderson.
That is a great defensive possession right there by Houston, but that's just an extremely tough shot right there by the freshman. I am so high on Christian Anderson. I think he has a ton of potential.
Now it's the Cougs' turn. Step back, jumper, Arsenault, no. And a foul's going to go on Houston. It's going to be Oh, wait, Brett Smith changing the call, saying a foul on the floor. That's going to be on Texas Tech instead. This has not been a banner first half for the officials.
This hasn't been a pretty half by them at all.
So they call the foul on Darian Williams. That's going to be his second. And it sends Houston's number 5, Javier Francis, to the line. Offensive rebound by Roberts. What a monster on the glass. A jump ball. It's going to be Texas Tech basketball.
And that right there is on Yalaho. One-on-one, you have to make contact on the block out at the free throw line. He makes no contact with Jawan Roberts. Jawan Roberts is way too physical, way too good of an offensive rebounder for you not to touch him. Yalaho has to put an emphasis on blocking out.
Now Williams, can he handle the double team? He doesn't. He turns it over. Number 9 for the Red Raiders. And that foul is going to go on Emily Yalaho.
And I like what Texas Tech is trying to go to. They're trying to get Darian Williams in the post so that Houston can bring the double and he can pass out. However, Darian Williams has not been able to pass out of this double successfully. When they bring the double, you have to be able to hit McMillan on the backside. If you do not hit him, if you're not strong in this trap, there will be turnover after turnover. Darian Williams, if they're going to go to that, he has to be strong in the trap and embrace the double.
And Francis hits the first, a 67% free throw shooter. Texas Tech averages just under 11 turnovers a game. They have 9 already against this vaunted Houston defense. And Francis goes 2 for 2 that time. Stop me if you heard this before, King. We've got a 1-point ball game. It is deafening inside the Fertitta Center. McMillan had it stripped by Wilson. Saved by Cryer for 3. Blue jerseys all over the ball on the offensive end, but we're going the other way. Bucket there would have brought the house down.
Let's look at the physicality on the offensive glass. This is who Houston is. And I think the foul was probably called on Francis when he hit McMillan in the back of the head. But, I mean, so many bodies going for the ball. If you're Texas Tech, you cannot turn it into a jumping contest. You have to make contact and hit the offensive rebounders of Houston before they get off the ground. They're too athletic.
So now Chance McMillan, an 87% free throw shooter, hits the front end of the 1-and-1. 1:02 to go. Fireworks all over the first half of this ball game between 2 ranked Big 12 teams. And McMillan calmly knocks both down. 38 points for Tech. Ties them for most points Houston has allowed in the first half all year. And they're doing it without their best scorer, JT Toppin. Wilson. Mid-range assassin, Malik Wilson, has his first 2 of the game.
He's provided such a spark for this Houston team off of the bench. We've seen him have big games. The game against Kansas. He can score the basketball with the best of them, and he's gotten so much more comfortable scoring the ball off of the bench.
10-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Walton rattles in and out, offensive rebound. Now it's Anderson with a huge 3.
And that's the confidence shot. That's the confidence that Christian Anderson exudes every single time he's out there. Yes, he's a freshman, but he plays a lot older than his grade.
45% from beyond the arc in Big 12 play for Christian Anderson. LJ Cryer at the buzzer. no good. And Texas Tech, minus their leading scorer and rebounder, and minus their head coach, Grant McCaslin, goes to the locker room in Houston, up 4, 41-37, looking to snap the Cougs' 33-game home winning streak. Now we go to the studio and the halftime report. Dallin Cup, we need a timeout here in Houston. Take it away.
Thanks.
You're watching the Big 12 on ESPN. We're back inside the Fertitta Center in Houston, Texas, where at halftime, Don Chaney had his number 24 hoisted to the rafters alongside Clyde Drexler, Hakeem Olajuwon, Elvin Hayes, and other great Houston Cougars of all time. But the excitement really happened early on in this game. Less than 4 minutes into the first half, and Texas Tech's leading scorer and rebounder, JT Toppin, got ejected for kicking his leg out on that pass. When Grant McCaslin saw the replay, he went ballistic, and he got ejected as well. But without their head coach and without their best player, Texas Tech has a 4-point lead over the Houston Cougars on the road. Back inside an electric Fertitta Center alongside King McClure. I'm Rich Hollenberg. So Texas Tech looking to do what no team in the last 34 games has ever done. Beat Houston on their home floor. How have they done it so far in the first half?
Well, after that horrible flagrant 2 call by the referees, they have been motivated. They have been inspired because of what happened. Typically in games like this, when your head coach gets ejected, when your best player gets ejected, it fires you up to a different level, which makes you want to go harder, makes you want to play harder. And that's what we have seen. They have been able to keep Houston off of the glass, actually win the rebounding battle, something that we don't typically see. But they have wanted it more in the first half, and I know the locker room for Houston was not fun.
Chance McMillan leading the Red Raiders with 13. LJ Cryer has 13 for the Cougs. Texas Tech 13-1 this year when they lead at the half. But right out of the half, Milos Uzan knocks down his first 3 of the night.
Been really quiet in that first half, but he's averaging 14 in the last 3. He's shooting it more efficiently, and he's added a major boost to this Houston offense.
Just the 3rd time the Cougs have trailed at the half this season, but right now they have a chance to regain the lead with a bucket. Keep in mind, King, already today, Iowa State had their 29-game home win streak snapped against Kansas State, and Michigan State had a 13-game win streak snapped against USC.
What a big win by K-State.
Uzan not that time. And a foul is going to be called. It looks like it'll be on JoJo Tugler. That's the 2nd on the Houston Big Mac.
That was a super impressive win by Kansas State. To go into Ames, quiet the crowd, make big shots. That's what you have to do when you're on the road, especially in an environment like that.
Doug McDaniel had 19 for Jerome Tang's Wildcats, who are all of a sudden have flipped the script and playing good basketball now in Manhattan. Texas Tech ranked 22nd, their first time ranked in the AP poll this year, but the metrics love them. Skip pass. Walton pays it off.
And that time right there, Houston didn't send a complete double in. If you do not, Darion Williams is too good of a passer to allow him to play one-on-one. You have to take away his vision with the second defender.
Williams now with 6 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists. A typical stat sheet stuffer kind of night for number 5 in red for Texas Tech. 1 and done for the Cougs. Hawkins for McMillan, transition 3 off the mark.
Gotta look down low right now.
Here's Tugler, and he's guarded by the smallest guy on the floor, Elijah Hawkins. Cryer. The follow no good, out of bounds, Texas Tech basketball. You know, following up missed shots is a specialty. It's what Houston feasts on, and so far they haven't really been able to do that.
Texas Tech has done a good job of blocking them out, but on that offensive possession, you have JoJo Tugler guarded by the smallest guy on the basketball floor. Tugler's supposed to duck in right there, and he has to get the basketball in that scenario.
Here's the mismatch again. Tugler trying to stay with Hawkins. 5 on the shot clock. Hawkins gets the foul drawn on number 11, and that's 3 fouls now on JoJo Tugler.
Hawkins does a really good job of changing directions. He can plant his foot in the ground and change directions immediately, which makes it extremely difficult for bigs to stay in front.
Javier Francis, 5 in blue, on in place of Tugler in foul trouble. What's impressed you so far from Texas Tech's perspective?
Their ability to stay poised. I mean, even when Houston has made their runs, when they've taken the lead, they have hit big shot after big shot, and they have stayed poised. That's one thing we saw in that Kansas State game. When Iowa State tried to make their run, Kansas State was able to make shots and take the crowd completely out of it. Texas Tech doing things very similar.
Williams lost it out of bounds, but it'll stay Tech ball. 5 on the shot clock. And credit Jeff Linder, first season in Lubbock, a longtime head coach, most recently at Wyoming. Grant McCaslin brought him in as a consigliere of sorts. And now he's baptism by fire in the head coaching department in the Big 12. Blocked by Francis. And that's a shot clock violation. Ball didn't touch the rim.
That's a high-level block right there by Francis. I mean, that is the level of rim protection that you were going to see when you attack the rim against this Houston defense. He pinpoints the basketball before it drops. And Francis is getting a super clean block.
That foul's going to be on the big man from Texas Tech. That's Federico's 3rd. All the fouls that are starting to pile up on both sides, King, free throws might tell the tale in this second half. Emily Yalaho checks in for Federico now.
In this specific game, so far, Yalaho has outplayed Federico. Yalaho has been the better big so far in this game.
Here's Cryer. What a fake. Can't get the bucket to drop. And McMillan comes away with it.
It's a good example of gang rebounding. It takes all 5 to get a rebound against this Houston defense.
A near turnover, scrum for the loose ball. And it's going to be possession arrow to Texas Tech. Tech has a 25-14 rebounding advantage right now against one of the fiercest rebounding teams in the nation, King.
And that's not something you hear too much, especially going up against a culture or program like Houston.
And again, that is without their leading rebounder for most of the game, JT Toppin. 7 to shoot. Hawkins working on Sharp. And he draws the foul on Sharp. 3 fouls on Emmanuel Sharp now.
Well, he was solid. He was good all the way up until the end. When you reach in, you bail the offensive player out. He did a good job of beating him to the spot, walling up with his chest, but as soon as he reached in at the very last second, that is a foul. Look at this. This is good one-on-one defense. He stays in front. No need to reach right there at the end. If you just wall up, put your hands up, he's 5'10", make him make that shot over you.
Elijah Hawkins, a pass-first point guard, has himself 11 points already tonight. Coming up at 9 Eastern, it's the one we've all been waiting for. John Calipari makes his return to Rupp, taking Arkansas in there to face number 12 Kentucky. It's another Sonic blockbuster, and then following that, Gonzaga and St. Mary's in a West Coast Conference rematch.
How about Gonzaga? I mean, the way that they are struggling. Started off the year extremely hot. Was one of the best teams in the country, and the way that they have fallen, I mean, no doubt in my mind, Mark Few will figure it out, but how about the Zags?
Tech's lead was 4 at the half. It is 6 now. 4 minutes gone by in the second half. Cryer. And he draws the foul on Williams, and that's Darian Williams' 3rd. We have a timeout on the floor, 15:51 to go. Houston down 6 on their home floor. Well, typically, Fertitta Center is a house of horrors for the opponents. Inside this building, Houston is 104-6 since 2018. They are currently owners of the largest, longest active home win streak in all of college basketball at 33 games. But right now, that is very much in question because the Texas Tech Red Raiders, who are undefeated this year, 4-0 on the road, have come into Houston and delivered a couple of haymakers, and right now they lead by 6 against the Cougs with 15:51 to go. In their first 11 home games, Houston and Kelvin Sampson's team trailed by just about 15 minutes total. In this game, they have trailed by more than that. Unbelievable occurrence, especially when you consider that there is no Grant McCaslin on the sideline and there is no JT Toppin in the lineup. Both got ejected with fewer than 5 minutes gone by in the first half.
But one thing that you have learned, though, amongst this season when it comes to the Houston Cougs is no lead is safe. So if you're Texas Tech, you have to play like this for 40 minutes. You have to lock in for 40 minutes. Kansas didn't do that, and they ended up getting beat on their home floor. This Houston Cougars team is old, they're experienced. They have veteran players who understand how to win games, like this young man right here. LJ Pryor has won a national championship, has had a great career, a lot of success. No lead is safe for Houston.
Williams working on Roberts. Offensive rebound, and Emily Yalaho draws the foul.
Yalaho, even though he's made a few mistakes tonight, he's played really well. Right there, crashing the glass. Texas Tech winning the offensive rebound battle right now, 10-7. And a lot of that is due to Yalaho and his efforts on the glass.
Yalaho hits the first. And the lead is back to 4 for Texas Tech. Foul trouble starting to mount for Kelvin Sampson's Cougars. Javier Francis with 3, JoJo Tugler with 3, and Emmanuel Sharp has 3. Clutch free throws by the youngster, Yalaho. Undermanned underdog, Texas Tech, ranked 22nd in the country, coming in and trying to upend and upset the number 6 Houston Cougars. And Houston says, we have a problem.
Well, that was great defense right there by Yalaho, but right now, when you have a guy like Francis on the offensive glass, you have to put an emphasis in blocking out. And Kerwin Walton at 6'6" is really a 2-guard. But he's asked to do a lot to block out Francis one-on-one when Yalaho is guarding Roberts. So with this small lineup of Texas Tech, how will they be able to rebound the basketball?
They're on their feet inside Fertitta Center. Show and go. Hawkins, no. Houston could take the lead with a 3 or tie it with 2. And an offensive foul. We're going the other way.
And that's what they were trying to get at. They wanted Francis to duck in Walton in transition because that's where you have the advantage. However, he got a little too aggressive. Now Francis has 4 fouls. And you bring in Tugler, who has 3. Let's take a look at this right here. It's the hook. It's the hook. As soon as that left hand comes down, a lot of referees are going to call that foul. A little too aggressive right there. Francis didn't need that. He has the size advantage. You don't need the extra aggression. You can get what you want with just a little bit.
So now Tugler back on the floor with those 3 fouls.
Oh,
Walton makes him pay right in Arsenault's eye.
And you have to know that when Kerwin Walton is in the game, 84% of his shots are jumpers. He is looking to shoot the 3, not looking to put on the floor, looking to shoot the 3. Being there is not good enough.
How about this Texas Tech 3-point shooting barrage? 9 for 17.
Oh.
There's a dunk by Tugler. They've got a switch. Walton cans it. 4 triples for Kerwin Walton. He has 14, and the lead is back to 6 for the Red Raiders.
As your Texas Tech, you want to go inside. You want to attack the thin front court of Texas Tech right now.
The tap back, loose ball, chased down by Arsenault.
Let's take a look at this dunk right here. You have to block out. Kerwin Walton goes over to contest. Nobody blocks out Tugler, and if you don't make contact, you will see that time and time again. But on the flip side, Kerwin Walton, that's such a tough shot. Momentum fading away from the basket, not getting your feet set. But elite shooters do what elite shooters do, and they knock it down.
A career 42% three-point shooter. Kerwin Walton has 4 of them tonight. I believe there was a discrepancy with the clock that they got squared away. It's going to be Houston basketball. Here's LJ Cryer with the ball. He has 16. Wilson, patient. 10 on the clock. Cryer, fadeaway 2 is good. 18 for LJ Cryer.
He just understands how to score the basketball. Mid-range, three-point, floater. Just has a knack for scoring.
Anderson takes it himself, and he's fouled. And I think that's going to be called on JoJo Tugler. And if it is, it's number 4. So now Kelvin Sampson has a predicament. 2 of his 3 bigs, Francis and Tugler, both have 4 fouls, and there's 12:37 to go in the game.
And you know, Tugler plays so hard, but when you look at it, 5 out of the 9 conference games that Houston has played, Tugler has had at least 4 fouls. And right now, here's another one where he has 4 fouls again.
Anderson at the line, cans the first. Our NBA Saturday primetime matchup on ABC and the ESPN app is LeBron and the Lakers playing the 5th game of a 6-game road trip at Madison Square Garden against Jalen Brunson and the Knicks. Coverage begins with NBA Countdown at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. LBJ loves playing at the Mecca, 28 points per game in his 15 career games there, but the Knicks have won 5 straight.
Jalen Brunson, Karl Anthony Towns, all-star starters. Those 2 guys are playing exceptionally well.
Texas Tech shooting exceptionally well from beyond the arc and from the free throw line. 14 for 16 tonight. And here's a turnover by Houston. Hawkins throws it up, can't get it off the window. And it's going to be Houston basketball.
What a great defensive play right there by Wilson. To be able to vertical contest, not foul, but vertically contested, to alter the wide open layup by Hawkins. Take a look at this right here. Doesn't foul, goes straight up, and takes away an easy layup.
Juwan Roberts goes down, and he's slow to get up. The foul's going to be on Federico, and that's his 4th. And this is not a good sign for Houston. The heart and soul of this Cougars team, Juwan Roberts, slow to get up. That's trainer John Houston tending to the Houston big man. Let's take another look.
Let's see. Oh. The right ankle. You know, Juwan Roberts is extremely tough.
Good to see Juwan Roberts get up. We'll be back with an update. 12:04 to go in the game.
For the first time as a Razorback, Coach Cal returns to Rupp Arena. A homecoming like no other.
How special is this?
Arkansas, Kentucky, tonight on ESPN.
What a day it's already been in college basketball on this first day in February, and it promises to be even better. We've got 12:04 to go in an exciting game here in Houston, and the bad news gets worse. Not only are the Cougs down on their home floor with 12:04 to go, but their most talented big man, Juwan Roberts, the heart and soul of this team, is on the bench right now, nursing what looks like it might be an ankle injury.
And he was walking off limping, and it looked bad, but he's a tough kid. He's extremely tough, and you know if it's something serious, if he's reacting that way. If you want to talk about something serious, Rich, that shot by LJ Cryer to change the way he's shooting midair, still knock it down.
20 points for Cryer. It's his first 20-point game in almost 2 months. Anderson can't kiss it off the glass, and Francis, with those 4 fouls, grabs the rebound.
If you're Houston, you have to play through LJ Cryer right now. He's the one rolling. You have to play through him.
Wilson, no look, to Arsenal. And Jeff Lindner calls a timeout to try to quell the tide. He feels the momentum shifting in the building.
Look at this time by Malik Wilson. The no-look, Arsenal throwing it down. Uh-oh.
Looking forward to that one on the women's side, but here on the men's side, LJ Cryer trying to lead a Houston comeback here.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of buckets in that game, and we've seen a lot of buckets from this young man tonight. His ability to just be able to take over a game with his scoring prowess, getting it done at different levels. A 3-level score, dangerous from deep. A winner, a leader, a veteran, LJ Cryer. Knows how to get it done, Rich.
His first 20-point game since December 14th, but he is no stranger to scoring spurts. He could be a flamethrower when he gets unlocked, and right now he has 3 threes and a game-high 20 points.
Rich, if you're Texas Tech, you have to find a way to go at Francis. Go at him, try to make him pick up his 5th foul. You have to find a way to get him in every action.
9 minutes gone by in the second half. Can Tech hold on and pull off the unlikely upset? Good hands by Uzan, knocks it out of bounds. 5 on the shot clock for Texas Tech.
Seconds. You have to run something quick right here for Walton or McMillan. Coming off a stagger or some type of screen to get them a shot.
Texas Tech 10 for 18 from beyond the arc tonight. That one was forced. And another good defensive stand by Houston. And now Milos Uzan a little shaken up, heading up the floor. Houston can take a lead with a triple. Their last lead was 25-24 with 9 minutes to go in the first. Extra pass, Wilson. 3 on the shot clock. Uzan for 3. Too strong. The tap to Wilson. And now Javier Francis is down in a heap. John Houston, the trainer, back on the floor to tend to another Cougars big man. You talk about dealing with adversity. Yeah. Kelvin Sampson has had more than his share tonight. And Juwan Roberts set to check back in. That's some good news for Houston.
He's a tough young man.
It looks like they're checking his face, like he might have gotten hit in the eye or the jaw.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. Inadvertent, certainly, by Kerwin Walton, but Javier Francis taking his time getting back up. Francis with 7 points and 3 rebounds, playing with those 4 fouls. This game has been played in a single-digit window all night. Houston's largest lead was 5. Texas Tech's largest lead of the night, 7. Right now, a 2-point game. Texas Tech undefeated on the road, 4-0, looking to move to 5-0 in their first week, ranked in the AP Top 25. Houston, a 13-game win streak on the line, as is their 33-game home win streak, which is the largest active streak in the nation.
There is no foul on the play.
And it did look like Javier Francis tried to grab his left leg before he went down, so he might have taken a shot to the kisser, but that might be a postscript to him limping off the floor right now. We'll get word and report back when we do. And you saw what Kelvin Sampson just signaled to Juwan Roberts. He pounded his heart. He said, play with heart now.
He's the heart and soul of this team. He means so much. He's been in so many big games.
Roberts to Arsenault. Another circus two by 23 in blue. And we are tied at 56. Off the double team, Yalaho. And he'll have a chance to earn it at the free throw line.
Well, Rich, that was caused because Juwan Roberts, although he's out there playing, you can tell that his ankle is severely hurting him. He's limping up and down the floor. He's not able to move and get to the double. Because he was slow to the double, Darion Williams had all day to be able to make the right read to Yalaho. Let's take a look at what happened to him earlier. Twisted his ankle. But this young man is so tough. He's so relentless. He is a leader. He is the pride and the joy of Houston basketball. And you know if he can play, he is going to be out there.
Yalaho misses the second. Houston looking for their first lead of the game since 9 minutes to go in the first half. Arsenault thought 3. Kelvin Sampson gives his shooters the green light. Roberts kicks it out. 4 on the shot clock. Wilson back to Roberts for 2. Houston back on top. Williams goes right at the Cougs defense, and he'll go to the line. An 8-0 Houston run.
And that right there is what you have to do if you're Texas Tech. That's what got you success in the first half. Being able to get to the lane, not going east-west, going north and south, attacking the rim. And when you attack the rim, good things happen. But I like Darion Williams being aggressive offensively.
Williams, an 85% career free throw shooter. Looking for his first point of the second half, and he won't find it there. Texas Tech now 14 for 19 from the free throw line tonight. Williams gets the second. 8:55 to go, a 1-point Houston lead. The 6th-ranked Cougars have won 18 straight Big 12 regular season games. That is in severe jeopardy tonight. Pryor for 3. Off the mark that time. The tap back to Uzan. Milos Uzan, just his second field goal of the night.
Juwan Roberts is not at 100%. Got to find a way to attack him.
Williams working on it. Williams up and good. 9 points now.
That's the matchup you have to go at, Rich. With Juwan Roberts wanting to play, he's not at 100%, probably really at 60 with his ankle. You have to test his mobility.
And Uzan, the rare turnover. Milos Uzan has been so reliable for Kelvin Sampson, especially in Big 12 play.
That's right. That's why they tell you, do not leave your feet unless you know where you're going with the basketball. As a point guard, young point guards out there, do not leave your feet unless you know where you're going with the ball.
A 6-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio during their 13-game win streak for Milos Uzan. Pryor blocked from behind. No call, but it'll be Houston ball when we come back. Don't go anywhere. It's mayhem in the Big 12 today.
It is happening.
This conference has separated itself for the last decade as the best conference in the country.
Every single conference game in the Big 12 feels like an NCAA tournament game.
Unbelievable venues, Hall of Fame coaches, and there's a physicality that this league plays with.
The conference that has been consistently the deepest and best conference in college basketball over the last couple of years.
In just over an hour, Coach Cal returns to Rupp Arena. When the fans are there, he's under the building right now. Arkansas taking on number 12 ranked Kentucky over on ESPN. A lot of talk about what kind of reception he will get. Well, we will find out just after 9 o'clock Eastern time. And coming up, when our game ends on ESPN2, but right now in about just over a minute, Marcus Burton and Notre Dame on the road to Miami. This game will start on ESPNU. Burton looking to make it 6 straight 20-plus point games. When we're done down in H-Town, we will get you there. This game on the Deuce. Back to you guys, Rich, King. Good finish.
Thank you very much, DC. Alongside King McClure, I'm Rich Hollenberg. We have a barn burner in Houston. The number 6 ranked Houston Cougars are up 1 now on 22nd ranked Texas Tech. 60-59, 7:40 to go. This game has had a little bit of everything. Texas Tech has been undermanned for most of the game. JT Toppin, their leading scorer and rebounder, got the gate with 16:50 to go in the first half. Grant McCaslin, their head coach, kicked out after that double technical foul was called. But Texas Tech remains in it, down by just 1, trying to snap Houston's 33-game home win streak. And now they have a chance to regain the lead. Anderson from the corner. In and out. And Roberts playing on one bad leg. Grabs the rebound.
He's showing you what type of competitor he is, Rich. That's not easy to do.
Here's the pocket pass to Roberts. Can't get the layup. Williams, catch and release. Too strong, no whistle, Cougs ball. And
right there, I would have liked to see Williams drive the basketball, especially when Roberts is guarding you. You want to test out his lateral quickness with the ankle.
Uzan calls his own number. And all of a sudden, there's a lid on the basket. Pryor lost it. And it's going to be Texas Tech basketball.
This is right here is a good tap right there by Chance McMillan, and Christian Anderson getting to the floor. LJ Pryor kind of jumping on top of him, trying to get the basketball. They called the foul right there on Pryor.
And now Texas Tech, with 6:28 to go in the game, is going to be shooting 2 free throws on every subsequent Houston foul. Tech 15 for 20 from the strike tonight. Make it 15 for 21. Wilson rises up, knocks it down.
He's so good when he gets to that mid-range area. Knows how to get to his spot. He knows who he is, doesn't try to be anything different.
Houston's lead is 3. Their largest lead of the night is 5. Too much dribbling from McMillan. He turned it over. Wilson at the other end. Nice pass from Williams to Federico. And Federico gets the foul.
Let's take a look at this. You can't play with the basketball when you're going up against this aggressive Houston defense, because if you do, they will cause you to turn it over because their hands are so active.
So now the big man for Texas Tech, Federico will go to the line and shoot 2. Just a 46% free throw shooter, and he misses the first. Tomorrow afternoon, a really good ACC women's basketball matchup on the Deuce. Hannah Hidalgo and number 3 Notre Dame in Louisville to take on the Cardinals, who are 7-2 in conference play. The Irish undefeated at 8-0. Coverage begins at noon Eastern. And Federico missed them both.
This right here is the danger zone right now for Texas Tech. You have to get stops like you did earlier on in this ball game. But this is what happens when you play against Houston. They wear you down over the course of a 40-minute game.
Houston's average margin of victory during their 13-game win streak, 21 points. Right now, they're up 5 on Texas Tech with under 5 minutes to go, and a foul on the floor is going to send Darian Williams to the free throw line.
And if you're Texas Tech, with the way that Houston is so aggressive on defense, you have to use their aggressiveness against them. And when you get to the foul line, you have to be able to knock down shots, free throws, if you want to win this game. If you miss free throws, you have no chance of winning this ball game.
Foul trouble for the Cougs. Javier Francis with 4, JoJo Tugler with 4, and Terrence Arsenault with 4. And Williams, normally a reliable free throw shooter, misses the first.
They missed their last 4 free throws. If they would have made their last 4 free throws, we got a 1-point basketball game right now. Free throws in this type of game, in competitive Big 12 basketball games, when a lot of these type of contests come down to 1 possession, will kill you.
1 for 2 for Darian Williams. He's in double digits with 10. But the Houston lead is 4. With the ball, under 5 minutes to play. Looking for their 19th consecutive Big 12 regular season win. And that foul's going to go on the floor.
LJ Cryer is so tough to guard when he comes off of pin down screens and he's able to curl and get downhill.
So now LJ Cryer will trigger the inbounds from under his own basket. Here's Cryer. He has a game-high 20. The double team. That looks like Houston's defense. Step back from Wilson. Off the back iron. Chance to make it a 1-possession ball game. Herman Walton, the 3-point specialist. Williams turns. In and out.
Back-to-back possessions. Malik Wilson got a decent look on one end. Williams got a decent look on the other end. You just have to be able to knock those down when the game is tight.
No JT Toppin. No Grant McCaslin. And now Houston has its largest lead of the night.
And that right there was set up by JoJo Tugler. Being able to seal Federico to not allow him to slide over and contest. Good seal right there by Tugler.
And things are getting chippy here inside the Fertitta Center. We have a timeout on the floor. It's crunch time. And a 6-point Houston lead, their largest of the night with 3:31 to go. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Phillips 66, proud sponsor of Big 12 basketball.
Stanley Cup in studio over on ESPN, Duke, Carolina. It is not pretty. The Tar Heels cannot compete. The Blue Devils are putting it on them. Con Knueppel drops about the Sion James. They're up 29 right now, just rolling. Right now, though, Notre Dame is playing at Miami. They've already tipped. If you're looking for that, you can find that on ESPNU. We'll move that over to ESPN2 once things are done in Houston. Let's get back down to H-Town. Rich King, take it away.
Thanks, DC. Houston has outscored Texas Tech by 10 in the second half to have their largest lead of the game. What adjustments did Kevin Sampson make at halftime?
Well, it was simple. They have to play harder. In the first half, Texas Tech wanted the game more than Houston did. But when you look at the rebounding battle, Houston was losing that. Texas Tech was winning the battle. They have not allowed Texas Tech, and Houston's defense has not allowed Texas Tech to get an offensive rebound in the second half. And they've kept them right there at 10. So that's the adjustment, is we have to play harder. We have to match their intensity, match their energy. And that is exactly what they have done.
And that rebounding advantage leads to what? Second chance points. Houston has 25 of them in the second half. That's a season high now.
They got back to their identity, and they have dominated and done what Kelvin Sampson wants them to do.
Elijah Hawkins doesn't have a field goal in the second half, but now has 3 made free throws. And the veteran, Hawkins, hits them both.
And we haven't seen this lineup for Houston in a minute, with the two bigs and Roberts and Tugler on the floor at the same time. If you're Texas Tech, it is imperative that you block out.
Ten on the shot clock. Here's the game-high scorer, L.J. Cryer. And good defense by the freshman Anderson. It goes out of bounds, but they're going to say it's a shot clock violation. Crier's shot didn't touch anything because it was partially blocked by Anderson.
And that's the right call, but Texas Tech got bailed out. Maybe 0.4 seconds more, and that ball goes out on Darion Williams. It doesn't touch anything. This is the right call. It was a shot clock before it went out, but Texas Tech got saved right there.
Has to touch rim for the shot clock to reset.
I would attack right now if you're Hawkins.
Hawkins working on Roberts with that bad ankle.
That's great defense for a guy with a hurt ankle.
Here's Williams now trying to do the same thing. Nowhere to go. Anderson got fouled on the 3-shot attempt.
You want to talk about a warrior on the defensive side, Rich. Jawan Roberts, hurt ankle and all. His one-on-one defense right there for about 12 to 13 seconds was impressive. Let's take a look at this. Stay in front of a guy like Hawkins, not allowing him any angles. Then they try to switch and give it to Williams to attack him, and he stays in front once again. This is so impressive.
And that clip that you just saw, more than anything else that Jawan Roberts does, is why he is the winningest Cougar of all time. He's playing in his 156th game, and he has 133 career wins.
See, Rich, my man is limping up and down the court when he's running, but side to side, lateral movement. Forget the pain. I'm staying in front of you, and I want to lead my team to a victory. That's why he's the ultimate winner.
With those 3 free throws, Tech pulls to within 1. 66-65 Houston.
And that's why Christian Anderson has a chance to be special. Game on the line, steps up to the plate.
Now Roberts on the other end.
On one leg, what we're seeing J'Wan Roberts do, this is high-level stuff right here.
Just dragging himself up and down the floor. Counting down to 2 minutes to go. McMillan with the seam. First points of the second half for Chance McMillan, who has 15.
And that's what you have to do if you're Chance McMillan. Drive the ball. J'Wan Roberts on a closeout. Way to get to the hole for the tough finish.
Tech still has fouls to give before they send the Cougs to the free throw line. But J'Wan Roberts is in takeover mode, King.
And if you're Texas Tech, you might want to switch that. You might want to put Darion Williams right there on Roberts instead of Federico. Williams is stronger, he's more physical.
Now Roberts on the much smaller Anderson. Great effort by Terrence Arsenault chasing that ball out of bounds.
Not a great shot right there by the freshman. I would like to see him attack, put his head down, and try to get by.
So the shot clock has reset to 20, but with 1:14 to go, the officiating crew is going to go over to the scorer's table and take another look.
Plays under review.
Yeah, that looks like that's off on Arsenault.
Yeah.
And
Chance McMillan has his hands up in the air.
That should be Texas Tech basketball right there.
That is the initial call, hence the reason why you see the shot clock reset to 20 seconds. But Brett Smith and company gonna look it over.
Right now, if you're Texas Tech, if this is your basketball, you have to find a way to put J'Wan Roberts in as many actions as you can. I would like to see the ball in Darion Williams' hands to be able to initiate or score. Get him on the low block, the mid-post. Allow him to go to work. If they send a double, he's a good enough passer to hit the open man. And if they let him play one-on-one, he can score down low. Get the ball to Darion Williams and let him initiate.
Texas Tech has lost 4 games this season by a grand total of 11 points. Their most recent losses to number 22 A&M, who's now ranked 13th, and to Iowa State by a single point. But Houston with a 3-point lead, looking to remain undefeated in Big 12 play this season and improve to 10-0. They have a 13-game win streak on the line, 18-game going back to last regular season in the Big 12, and a 33-game win streak here at home. All of that in jeopardy with a minute 15 to go, and Texas Tech with the ball, down just 3.
Find a way to get the ball to Darion Williams. A lot of times the inbounder is the most dangerous person underneath out of bounds plays.
Here's Hawkins, gives it up to McMillan. One of the best 3-point shooters in the country, fires away, and hits. We have a tie ball game.
That's such a big-time shot right there. They did a good job of guarding the initial action, but Chance McMillan gotten so good at shooting off the bounce, can knock it down when the game is on the line.
Thought it was a 3, they called it a 2. So it's a 1-point game. And Roberts goes to work again, and this time J'Wan Roberts will go to the line.
I like the switch right there. Get Federico off of him, put Darion Williams on. But that's just good defense. Let's take a look at this. That was a 2-point line. That was a 2-point shot. His foot was on the line.
So a good call by the officials who have really taken it on the chin tonight in Houston. No JT Toppin. He was ejected after a flagrant 2 technical foul with 16:50 to go in the first half. Grant McCaslin, Texas Tech's head coach, was ejected for arguing that call. And with all that, Texas Tech down just 2 with under 50 seconds to go in Houston. Well, a lot of adversity from Texas Tech early in the game. Their top scorer and rebounder, JT Toppin, was ejected for kicking his leg out on that pass play. Grant McCaslin, Texas Tech's head coach, reviewed it himself and said he was passing the ball. He got kicked out as well, and yet here we are, King McClure, with 49.7 seconds left in the game, and Texas Tech still has a chance to pull off the upset.
Yeah, once again, I keep reiterating it. That was absolutely horrible, Rich. That was terrible. Nonetheless, Texas Tech has done a good job of being motivated and being fired up. That's why they're playing this way. That's why they are still in this ball game despite not having Toppin or their head coach. Because things like that, Rich, when you're on a basketball court and you feel like you've been done wrong, it gives you a different level of energy, a different level of juice. Because now you're playing for your head coach. You're trying to get this win for your brother.
Juwan Roberts has put this Houston team on his back, albeit with one bad leg. McMillan, not this time. Loose ball, out of bounds. And the officials say it's going to be Houston basketball.
And I don't love the shot right there by Chance McMillan. I mean, he's a good enough shooter to knock it down, but down three, you don't need a three, especially with about 40 seconds that was on the clock. Get to the rim, put pressure on the defense, force them to foul, get to the free throw line. I think that was a bailout shot right there.
So now Houston in the bonus. And it looks like it's going to be Milos Uzan going to the line. Houston 13 for 18 from the stripe in this contest. Uzan, a 72% free throw shooter. He's the reigning Big 12 and National Player of the Week after his outstanding performance on the road in Lawrence against the Kansas Jayhawks last week. And he misses the front end of the 1-and-1. Tracked down by Hawkins.
You do not need a three.
Williams will shoot a three and make it.
That's a big-time shot right there. You didn't need a three nonetheless. If it's open, knock it down. And Darion Williams is about as confident as they come because he had a wide-open layup.
The 11th three of the night for the Red Raiders. We're tied at 72.
This was just a big-time shot, big-time play by a big-time player. You didn't need a three right here, especially with 32 seconds. But this is how you know you're confident. You had a lane to the rim. You're a good enough shooter, though, to take that shot. Nobody stops you. Why not shoot it, Rich? Bucket, Darion Williams. Big-time players make big-time plays.
His first three of the game, but it's the 11th three in 25 attempts for Texas Tech. At practice today, we heard Grant McCaslin talking to his team. Our goal is 25 three-point attempts. They reached that with that make. And with the 11th three, it's the most threes that Houston's given up all season long. Possession arrow with the Red Raiders. Both teams in the bonus. Tech in the double bonus.
But now, right now, if you're Houston, you either go to overtime or you win the ball game. You do not allow Texas Tech to get another shot. I would go through Juwan Roberts. Even though he's been hurt, he's had success the last few times he has touched the basketball. I would play through Juwan Roberts, but you cannot allow Texas Tech to get another shot up.
No Emmanuel Sharp either, King.
Yeah, you either win the game right here or you go to overtime.
Shot clock is off, 20 seconds left in regulation.
You would like to shoot the basketball around 7 or 8, or try to at least attack around 7 or 8 seconds.
Now 10 left. Uzan looking at the clock. He's got it in his hands. Had a moment where he was open. Gives it to Roberts. Lost the ball. And we're going to overtime in Houston.
That was a great stop right there. Houston got what they wanted. They wanted the ISO on the elbow right there for Jawan Roberts with about 3-4 seconds to go. Let him power through Darion Williams, but it didn't work. Federico loaded up. Good contest. Good defensive stop right here. Let's take a look at this. They get what they want. They get the ISO. It's worked multiple times, but Federico did a good job contesting, getting the block from the help side. Good defensive stand right there by Texas Tech.
Milos Uzan had an opening to shoot a three, and he passed it up. Instead, he went to Jawan Roberts, who has really put this Houston offense on his back in the closing moments. But great defense by the Red Raiders, and we're going to overtime. Texas Tech 0-1 in the extra session. They lost to Iowa State on their home floor in overtime. Houston has gone to overtime 3 times already this year, and they're 1-2 when forced to play an extra session.
That was a perfect example. That last defensive stance right there by Houston, by Texas Tech, that was a perfect example of what Grant McCasland was talking about with Federico. He's their best rim protector. He gives them an extra layer of backside defense that they don't have when he's out.
Jawan Roberts has scored Houston's last 6 points. We are tied going into overtime at 72. Remember, you missed it if you didn't tune in from the very beginning, because Texas Tech's leading scorer and rebounder, JT Toppin, got ejected with 16:50 to go in the first half for kicking his leg out on a pass. Not even a shot, but a pass. His head coach, Grant McCasland, got the gate after that from arguing that call. But without their head coach and their best player, Texas Tech has remained level with the number 16 in the country. And now we play an extra 5 minutes in H-Town.
That's what happens when you have veteran leadership. When you have guys like Williams, you have guys like McMillan who understands how to win at this level. When you have veteran leadership, they can keep everything calm and poised. When Grant McCasland got kicked out the game, who was it that brought everybody together? It was Chance McMillan that brought the group together and said that we can still win this game and compete, and they fully believe.
Last year, Texas Tech played Houston twice and lost by 23, both times. Tonight, it's a dogfight in Houston. The Cougars 9-0 in conference play, 18 straight Big 12 regular season wins, a 13-game overall win streak, and a 33-game home win streak for the Cougars. All at stake against the Red Raiders, who are riding a 5-game win streak of their own and are undefeated at 4-0 on the road this year. And here we go. McMillan, he leads the Red Raiders with 17. Up and under, gets it to go.
That's such a tough bucket. Get to your spot, pump fake, get him out of position, up and under, nice touch around the rim. Chance McMillan showing his scoring prowess right there.
19 now for McMillan. L.J. Crier's been quiet despite leading the Cougs with 22. Tugler lost it. Here's Crier with 8 on the shot clock. Now 5 to shoot. Roberts has to go. He does! And one!
Right there, Federico got out of position, assuming that he was about to go for the dribble handoff. Got out of position. You have to stay solid, because if you do not, Jawan Roberts is good enough at exposing you and getting downhill. Forget the ankle. Jawan Roberts wants to win.
And now with that foul, Darion Williams has fouled out with 4:09 to go in overtime. So that adds a little insult to injury for the Red Raiders, as Jawan Roberts will go to the line and try to complete a 3-point play.
And right there, if you're Darion Williams, knowing that you have 4 fouls, sometimes you have to just give things up. Because now you gave him a tic-tac and 1. He has 2 points, a potential chance to now put them up 1, and you're on the bench. If you're Darion Williams, you have to know in that moment, I give up the layup because I'm valuable on the basketball court and my team needs me out here.
Juwan Roberts means so much to this team. He is not a good free throw shooter. 57% from the line, and he missed that one. 14 points, 6 boards for Roberts. Playing on one good leg, and now Emmanuel Sharp is back in the game.
He's got to give it to the hot hand. You have to go chance McMillan.
Anderson finds McMillan. Sharp goes down. Here's Hawkins for 3. No. The tap. Hawkins got it back. Anderson for 3. In and out. And a foul on the floor, says Brett Smith.
And if you're Texas Tech, you got 2 wide open looks against this elite Houston defense. You have to be able to knock those down. But if you are Coach Linder, you are living with those 2 looks that you just got.
We're getting the sense like this is going to be a last man standing scenario. I know we're in Texas, but this is like a shootout at the OK Corral. Federico misses. And that's gravy when Federico hits a free throw.
That's one area that I know Texas Tech wants back. You missed 10 free throws in this ball game.
Roberts back out to Cryer. Good shot fake. And Sharp way off the mark.
Well, he hasn't played much. Due to foul trouble, he's a little out of rhythm.
Tech a 1-point lead in the ball, counting down to 3 minutes to go in OT.
Too much playing with it right there. You got to attack.
On the shot clock. Hawkins left alone. Got it!
Man. Big time shot right there.
Elijah Hawkins hits his 4th 3 of the game. And now Tech's up 4. And a Houston turnover. Gives Texas Tech the ball.
Let's go back to this shot. Look at this move. Right here, good defense originally. The fake drive, plant your foot, get the defender's momentum to go downhill. That is so tough.
Elijah Hawkins, 17 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists. Can't get that one to go. The offensive rebound to Federico. And taken away by Roberts.
If you're Federico, you cannot bring the ball down. You have to keep it up. You got the offensive board. Keep the ball up. As soon as you bring it down there, way too many hands.
Uzan, the floater, the bump and the bucket.
Milos Uzan, so skilled coming off the pick and roll. When he gets to that mid-paint area, as soon as he feels the bump, he goes right up, knows the foul is coming. Good touch around the rim. Houston works on this. They love floaters. They love that mid-paint area. And they're so good at drawing the contact, and when they feel the contact, putting the ball in the air to get a potential chance at and ones.
Milos Uzan, 9 points. Make it 10.
Trying to pick on Juwan Roberts, trying to test his mobility.
Good D, good hands by Sharp. No whistles. 5 on the shot clock. Deep 3. Anderson in and out. And Roberts grabs the rebound, and a whistle blows. A game of attrition.
So much physicality, so much on the line right now. Both teams want to win this game extremely bad, and you can tell by the effort level that they are giving.
And now Federico fouls out. So Williams gone, Federico gone, JT Toppin gone after the double technical early in the first half. Well, what a turnaround it's been for J'Wan Roberts, the winningest Houston Cougar in program history, went down in a heap in the second half, and it didn't even look like he'd be able to come back and play. But yet, after his coach urges him on, J'Wan Roberts put this Cougars team on his back.
He's been the difference maker in the last 4 minutes of the ball game ever since he's been back in. Defensively, offensively, they've been able to isolate him, get buckets, get to the rim. You know what he's going to do, but it's so hard to stop. J'Wan Roberts, the heart and soul of this Houston Cougars team.
Roberts with 14 will go to the line. Shooting 2. As usual in the Big 12, a fantastic finish, and it could come down to free throws.
Right now, Texas Tech is extremely undersized. With Curran Walton at the 4, Yalaho at the 5. No doubt in my mind, Kelvin Sampson is going to attack their front court.
Nobody's sitting down inside the Fertitta Center. A minute 20 to go in overtime. McMillan right at short for 2. Chance McMillan with 21.
That's such a tough finish. The reason why he was able to get by him is look how low he was playing towards the ground.
8 ties, 9 lead changes in this heavyweight bout in the Big 12.
Let's take a look at this Chance McMillan drive. Look at how low he is to the ground right there. The hesitation, start, stop. Plant your foot in the ground, allow the defender's momentum to get off of you, rise up, explode off the one leg. Chance McMillan getting to the rim. That's where he's gotten so much better.
And Roberts has made his last 2 free throws. He'll have one more.
And Kelvin Sampson taking Sharp out right now for a defensive possession. Because I think Sharp's ankle, we talk about J'Wan Roberts and his ankle. I think Sharp's injury is bothering him a little bit, not allowing him to be able to move the way that Kelvin Sampson would like.
We now have our 9th tie of the ball game. Under a minute to go. Hawkins. Walton for 3. Short. And Tugler grabs the rebound. What an effort. 14-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. And Kelvin Sampson calls a timeout. Coach Sampson, the veteran, must have known something, King, because he saved a lot of his timeouts. They still have 2 remaining. Take us inside that Houston huddle.
Well, right now, I think they're drawing up something similar to what we saw at the end of regulation. But the difference is there's no Darion Williams, there's no Federico. So now you're either going against Curran Walton or you're going against Yalaho, 2 guys who don't have a lot of experience guarding physical specimens down low in the paint. I would get the ball to J'Wan Roberts, get him the elbow ISO that he loves, let him overpower those 2 guys. And if you're Texas Tech, you have to get a stop without fouling.
Well, if you're a fan of Big 12 basketball, King, this should not come as a surprise to you. Fantastic finishes aplenty.
Using kick out Sharp from way downtown.
That's why Hunter's in right there.
Oh!
Got to shoot a 3.
Wilson. Oh! And we are tied. going to double overtime. Holy cow! 3-point game. Love for the tie. Oh!
Earlier today, they weren't close calls, but they were headline-type finishes. Baylor came from 19 down at home to beat Kansas. Iowa State's 29-game win streak went by the boards as Kansas State went into Ames and pulled off the upset. And now Texas Tech is looking to pull off what might be the biggest of all the upsets. They came in as double-digit underdogs in this game to the 6th-ranked Houston Cougars. Houston has an 18-game win streak in regular season Big 12 play on the line. It's the longest Big 12 regular season win streak in 22 years. They also have a 33-game home win streak that is currently the largest active such streak in the nation. Right now, everything up for grabs inside the Fertitta Center. 33.8 to go. Tie ball game, overtime, Houston basketball.
I'm going to Jawan Roberts right now. Having Yalaho on him, I'm attacking that matchup.
Roberts, left hand, got the foul. And we'll go back to the free throw line. That's the second on Emily Yalaho.
And you know, it's not the end of the world that Yalaho fouled right there, because Jawan Roberts is not known for his free throw shooting. He's not a great free throw shooter. So he did a good job. Yalaho's done a really good job one-on-one guarding Roberts, taking away what he initially wants to do. But Jawan Roberts gets the foul, and not the end of the world if you're Texas Tech.
Free throw betrays Jawan Roberts. Sharp on the bench, a spectator. Roberts gets 1 of 2 to give Houston a 1-point lead. Shot clock is off, 24.9 to go in the first overtime.
Chance McMillan or Elijah Hawkins.
McMillan right to the hole and gets fouled immediately. McMillan, an 87% free throw shooter.
Which we talked about it earlier, but that's an area where I think Chance McMillan has improved his game the most. Last year, he was more of a three-point shooter, spot-up guy. This year, he can really put the ball on the floor and create off the bounce. And we're seeing him get to the rim a lot more, especially late down this game.
He's now 6 for 6 from the free throw line and 1 off his season high of 23. That gives Chance McMillan game-high honors, 23 points, and it's a 1-point Texas Tech lead, 16 and a half to go. Last shot time for the Cougs.
Texas Tech is probably expecting Jawan Roberts with the basketball, so don't be surprised if LJ Cryer tries to create something.
5 seconds left in overtime. Roberts for the win. He gets fouled. No, he travels with the basketball. An unbelievable turn of events in Houston. Timeout on the floor, 1.5 seconds to go in overtime. And Texas Tech is on the brink of a colossal win.
And this is what happens when you pay attention to the scouting report. Yalaho is sitting on the left hand, so he makes him counter. And when he makes him counter, he travels and turns the ball over. Yalaho has done a good job, despite his inexperience, has done a good job tonight of paying attention to the scouting report, making Jawan Roberts change directions, taking away his initial move. Just good defense right here by Yalaho. No foul. Good stop right here.
King, what must Grant McCaslin be going through in the visitors' locker room, being forced to watch this as a spectator since 16:50 in the first half?
I know on that stop, he's out of his seat, jumping up, pumping his fist. If they win this game, nobody will be happier than Grant McCaslin.
Houston needs a miracle.
They put JoJo Tucker on the ball to make it really hard for Christian Anderson to see.
Anderson, a freshman.
He can't move right now.
And he heaves it across half court. Roberts with the heave. And it almost goes. But instead, Texas Tech holds on for the miracle 82-81 win.
This was about as impressive of a win that you will see. They came in here and got a win without their head coach, without their best player. They figured out a way to get it done. This is what you want to see out of your team. The toughness, the resilience. Texas Tech displayed that tonight.
Texas Tech now has a 6-game win streak. They snapped Houston's 13-game win streak and a 33-game win streak at home for the Houston Cougars has gone by the boards.
This was a smart play by Christian Anderson. Had nobody to throw it to, so instead of taking the 5-second violation, you chuck it down court, and you have to make sure that somebody touched it. Curran Walton, being that veteran, touched the basketball to make the clock run. That's just a great play right there by Anderson and Walton.
Texas Tech is now 5-0 on the road. They have their first ranked win this year and a 6-game winning streak. The Red Raiders are now the hottest team in the Big 12, if not the nation. An 82-81 win on the road against 6th-ranked Houston, your final from Houston. For everybody here at ESPN, including my broadcast partner, King McClure, I'm Rich Hollenberg, saying so long from H-Town. Another remarkable game in the Big 12.
Exhale.